What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about how NIO has received about a $350 price target for the 12 months of 2021. Now, before we get into all of that, if you guys enjoyed the information in this video, please go down and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so you're never late on any one of these videos that I put out, and you can stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks and maybe even find out about some new ones. So if we go over here on CNN Business, we can take a look at the stock price forecast for NIO for 2021. Now, right over here, it says the 15 analysts offering 12-month price forecast for NIO have a median target of 327.39 with a high estimate of 394 and a low estimate of 104.51. The median estimate from these analysts means that NIO has a 613% upside potential in the year 2021. Now that's insane. The highest that I have seen so far from any kind of institution was from Bailey Gifford, and they actually have a position, and they justified it by saying that the margins on NIO are 2 times the traditional premium vehicles, 20%, giving a post-tax cash flow of 100 billion RMB and a valuation of 300 billion, which is a 40x upside from the time that they put out this estimate, and that would give NIO a price target of about $200. Bailey Gifford also provided some reasons why they might be wrong. They basically just said that there's a lot of competition and they don't really know right now who is going to come out on top just yet. They just said that the local competition, Xpeng, Byton, and incumbents with deep pockets crowd the marketplace with Me Too offerings, meaning that they just have the same product. These massive price targets are the result of, in part, from NIO's sales numbers, which if you look at the sales numbers from November, they were 5,300 vehicles. And if you look at the sales numbers from October and November of 2019 versus the ones in 2020, it is a 100% increase. So this company is growing at a very substantial rate. The main reason why I think these price targets are so high is because of all of the technology that NIO is coming out with. Now, if we look over here, we can see that NIO reaches deal to build 100 EV charging and battery swap stations in China. So basically this means that if you have an older NIO model and you have an older battery, you can go to one of these swapping stations and swap out the battery that you currently have for the new model and get the new technology. As I've said before, this is very good for both the consumers of NIO products and NIO as a company, since it creates 2 points of sale, the original sale from buying the car and then the additional sale from upgrading the technology. NIO also has a massive event coming up for the company. They're supposed to be unveiling a lot of new technology and a new vehicle, and this is going to be on NIO Day on January 9th, and the new vehicle is going to be the midsize sedan, the ET7, which is expected to compete with Tesla's Model 3. Now, there have been some rumors that this vehicle might come out with a fully autonomous technology package, which would put NIO at the top spot in all of the electric vehicle car makers in the world. Now, it's also been rumored that they might come out with a 150 kilowatt hour battery as well. Right now, they only have a 100 kilowatt hour battery, but this new battery would have a range of 900 kilometers, which would be about 500 to 600 miles, and that would put NIO in the top spot for range in all of the electric vehicle companies in the world. So NIO is coming out with a lot of new technology, and it's the best. So if they can get the top spot in some of these categories of electric vehicles, we could see the stock go all the way up and maybe even through these price targets next year. In addition to this, NIO recently signed a deal with Mobileye for Robotaxis in Tel Aviv. Now, this is going to be in the place of Volkswagen, who most likely did not have the correct technology, or they just weren't where they needed to be at the time. But if NIO can get these Robotaxis fully functional with their autonomous vehicle software, this would also put NIO in the top spot in this category for electric vehicles as well. As you can see from all of these different news articles, NIO is pushing the boundaries on what we expect electric vehicle companies to be doing. And if they are the first to get these fully functional and in the marketplace, NIO is going to go crazy. They also have plans to expand into the European market throughout 2021. They want to put a fully functional factory in Denmark. When with this, they're going to have to set up a full distribution chain with dealerships, vehicle charging stations, battery swap stations, and this is going to cost NIO a lot of money. Now, they did this through the capital raise that they did with the share offering, and they raised about $3.2 billion in order to get all of these things done. NIO's competitors in China, however, especially XPeng, have also disclosed that they want to get into the European market as well. But XPeng has only said that they are going to be directly delivering vehicles to their customers. As of this week, XPeng has delivered 100 vehicles to European customers, but NIO wants to make a fully functional factory, which would allow it to have dealerships, and that would create more sales for the company, and eventually it would be more cost effective to have dealerships and factories in the country versus shipping all the vehicles over directly to the consumer. If we go over and take a look at the chart of NIO, we can see that it went on an absolute moon mission since September when it was trading at around $15 to $18 and went all the way up to the $55 mark and actually had a little bit of trouble recently and then came back and settled in around the $45 mark. I don't think NIO really has any reason to fall through the $45 or $43 mark, but it's always possible. With NIO Day coming up, I think there's going to be a massive run-up, and I think the best way to play this is either to buy shares of NIO, since the options are going to be pretty expensive and have a really high IV, or buy calls on the sympathies, which would be LI Auto and XPEV. Now, the reason why NIO had a little bit of a hiccup over here wasn't really having anything to do with the company's fundamentals at all. It was just bank downgrades. NIO went on an absolutely massive run, and the banks kind of saw this as it was kind of overextended and needed to see a pullback. There was the Citron short attack that really hammered NIO, and they also decided to have a capital raise through a share offering, which also sent the share price plummeting a little bit. But once investors realized that what they were going to be using this money for, they realized that NIO is just going to use this for expanding their technology and expanding into new markets, and investors really liked that, and it went from 40 all the way up to the $49 mark again and settled in around 45. Now, when we go over to the option chain for NIO, we can see that there is an extremely high open interest for calls on the January 15th expiration date. And what's important about this expiration date is that it covers NIO Day. So if we go over here, we can see that the $50 strike is trading at 330 and has an open interest of 55,000 about. And you can see over here that the volume that was traded on these contracts on the last day that the market was open was 6,395. That is a really high amount of volume for these contracts in a given day. We can also see that the 55s have an open interest of about 43,000, and these are trading at a little bit lower, but these contracts, as I said before, are pretty expensive. If you want to play NIO Day, I'd say either wait to get some cheaper contracts and let the premium decay if it's going to, or you would want to play the other companies' option chains with LI and XPeng for a sympathy. That's going to be it for today's video. I was as surprised as you guys probably are that NIO got around a $350 price target, but let's just see what happens in 2021. I think it's going to be another massive year for NIO.